My good friend ExperGamez did a video where he gave us 11 of his Dragon Ball confession. And after talking to him about it, he gave me his full blessings to do a very similar video. So, with this video, I present 10 Dragon Ball confessions. Let's go ahead and take us all the way back. 1. When I started watching Dragon Ball Z in the 90s, I had VHS recordings in Japanese, Spanish, and the English dub taped directly from Fuji TV, Telemundo, and Cartoon Network respectively, and at the time, this was the only real way to own every single episode, and even then, I was missing some episodes for a few years. Even though I'm happy that we can see the episodes a lot easier now that there are official releases, a part of me does miss hustling for those tapes. Number 2, the first episode of the Buu Saga I ever watched was back in 1998, and it was Dragon Ball Z episode 255, Fat Buu vs. Skinny Buu. And the first observation that I made was that I mistakenly thought that Dende was Piccolo's son. The Great Saiyaman arc used to be my least favorite part of the entire series, but as I've grown older, I've come to really love it and appreciate it and see how much fun it is. My all-time favorite moment in Dragon Ball Z is Gohan's SSJ2 transformation in Japanese against Cell. To me, the scene represented the entire character arc of Gohan that had been built up from the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z, finally reclaiming his birthright, and the emotion behind the scene and the story that was put into building it up is fantastic. 5th one, contrary to popular belief, and what may shock you, is that I actually do not have a huge Dragon Ball collection. I have a few figures, a few posters, I have the entire series, and some very, very rare things that literally nobody else on Earth has. But I don't have walls and walls of stuff or a humongous toy and merchandise collection like Miss DBZ Babe, Uncanny Megan, Super JAYAIN, or Dragon Ball Nation. That may change eventually, but right now I'm pretty happy with some of the rare stuff that I've gotten. I was so excited when the third trailer for Dragon Ball Z Revival of F/Resurrection F dropped that I literally watched it over 100 times. Speaking of obsessed, my 7th confession is that when Battle of Gods leaked online back in September of 2013, I had just returned home from a wedding I attended, and I watched the movie literally 7 times in a row. I loved it that much. 8. Now this may shock many of you, but my least favorite Dragon Ball Z movie is actually not the Bio Broly movie. It is actually its predecessor, known to many of you as Broly's Second Coming. To me, even though Bio Broly is not that great, it didn't put me to sleep like this one did. Now my favorite of the original 13 Dragon Ball Z Toei movies is actually The World's Strongest. I think it has amazing cinematography, a creative plot and a villain, and some of the most badass fights and animation of any of the movies. Plus, we see Roshi kick ass too. Even though sometimes I get a little upset, I love the Dragon Ball community very much, even if they don't agree with me, and I'm happy that we could all bond over this fantastic franchise. And that is my last Dragon Ball confession. Those are my 10 Dragon Ball confessions, and I'd love to hear yours. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will catch you down the road. Hey Super Tubers, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and spread the word about the channel, and find me on these social media platforms.